Hello everyone, it's your bud. Today we're going to be talking about the Unfallen from Endless Space 2. They are one of the many playable races. Now originally I wanted to talk about the Falmer and the Dunmer, that's the snow and the underground elves from Skyrim, but there's just too much for that video, so I think that will be tomorrow's or the next day's. So instead of doing a fantasy video, I'm doing a fantasy-ish race in a sci-fi game. And I have talked about the Sylvari from Guild Wars, who are a very similar species, but they have some key differences. Now let's get to learn about the Unfallen. The Unfallen have only ever known their homeworld of Koyasil, preferring to peaceably study what is near rather than discover what is far. They were content with this slow development that they refer to as the long sleep, the period from their rise to sentience to the modern era. The modern era was rudely thrust upon them by a galactic skirmish in the skies above, and the debris it rained upon their planet. Seeing fire fall from the skies and viewing the violence of other races firsthand changed their image of their role in the galaxy. Having an intimate relationship with the fire as both fire that destroys and fire that renews, they view themselves as guardians of peace and harmony in a galaxy that seems to be badly in need of both. Now to learn about Arash, first of seconds, Arasch. The current leader of the Unfallen was thrust into the role by popular consent. With little sense of ambition like the rest of his people, Arash seeks harmony and strives for a galaxy that learns to live together like the biosphere of a giant intertwined forest. Realistically, he's aware that this is a difficult dream, but encouraged by the murmurs of the heart, the spirit within Koyasil that nurtures and guides them, he will do what he can to realize this goal. As with all Unfallen, he will think slowly and deeply, and he will generally err to the side of peace and optimism. Now to learn about the homeworld, Koyasil. An ancient world, its origin lost to the mists of time, Koyasil's entire landmass is now one vast primeval forest. How long ago the Unfallen rose from the gloomy, silent woodlands is uncertain, but most historians who have studied the species of the galaxy place them as one of the oldest. In the depths of the forest, a sense of timelessness reigns supreme, and it is said a fallen tree will lay undisturbed for millennia, its very fabric becoming another layer of the forest. The Unfallen strive for little, content in the ageless world, but the stirring of younger races across the galaxy has awoken something in Koyasil, something ancient, mysterious, and powerful. There's a faction affinity called Celestial Vines. Harmony is everything to the Unfallen, and they seek to gain a peaceful stranglehold on the galaxy by spreading their tendrils across the stars. Adjacent systems are colonized by sending out vine ships and embedding beacons that attract the vines. So that's their Celestial Vine faction affinity, is that they're kind of like, I don't know, they're an invasive plant in a way, but they have a plan to keep everything in order. But is the order something that you want to have happen or not? That's completely up to you. Now for society, the stand of the heart. Unfallen society is rather unusual. They reproduce through seeds, resembling giant acorns that are heavily covered in resin. This is a defensive mechanism from the past, when terrible fires known as the Scorchings ravaged the planet and threatened their existence. This has, however, created an interesting relationship with fire, as the heat of fire, the fire that renews, is necessary to melt the resins and open the nuts. The saplings that grow from these are immobile and known as firsts. Their role in society is to listen and absorb knowledge and grow. Upon adulthood, they become mobile and are able to move, even rapidly, upon their long legs. These Unfallen are known as seconds, and they are what 99% of the galaxy thinks of when they hear Unfallen, for they are the travelers, diplomats, and soldiers, and after a certain age, however, the seconds start to succumb to the desire to find a place to dig their roots deep and return to the long sleep, taking the slumbering ageless form they call thirds. Now this is very interesting. So the firsts are just trees, the seconds are basically Ents, who basically have the actual tasks and role of interacting with the world, and then the thirds are kind of like, what is it, Old Man Willow, who was just so grumpy, and like, I wonder if Old Man Willow was an Ent that then planted himself back into the ground to like sunset. That's very interesting. So eventually the ageless slumbering form is the thirds. Is there a purpose for the thirds, or is the thirds just a natural desire to return and then eventually be probably consumed by the fire, and then all those bodies that are the thirds that get consumed can then crack through the new acorn or whatever and reveal a new first? That's very interesting. Now they have some cool spaceships, but I don't think we're really going to focus on that too much because, I mean, it's mostly sci-fi stuff, and not that I don't want to talk about sci-fi, just I'm feeling in a fantasy mood, and I really wanted to talk more about the actual race. So that was the Unfallen, one of the coolest species from the Endless Space game. And for those who don't know, Endless Space is the sci-fi RTS, but there's also Endless Legend. Endless Legend has like 20 different factions to go through. Some of my favorites are the Alai, the Cultists, the Drakens, the Kapaku, and the Haunts. They're some of my favorite, but I can't even like give you even just the basic understanding with some of them. Like, I can't tell you who the Haunts are unless you know about certain things. Like, unless you know what dust is, then I can't tell you about the Haunts. So I have to do some basic Endless lore videos so you can get an understanding, but I will try to do that in the future so you can then understand, because you're probably curious, wait, what's dust? Why does that matter to the Haunts? But that's the Endless Legend, and then Endless Space also has some dust people as well that want to go after dust, the Vadiani, Vodyani. There's also the Lumeris, the Cravers, the Sophons, Vulturs, Riftborn, and the Horatio. They're from Endless Space. This is Endless Space 2 to be specific. The Horatio have some really funny things. They're basically just like if Megamind made a whole bunch of clones of himself and tried to take over the universe. They're not really a race, they're just a whole bunch of clones. But it's kind of funny. So there's Endless Space and Endless Legend, and they both have tons of cool species. I think I'd like to talk about the Alai next. They might be the really cool ones to talk about. They're kind of like bat people, but I need to do some research first. I need to do some good research to make sure I actually make a great video for them, because they look like they deserve an awesome video. Originally, I was going to make a video on some Elder Scrolls stuff, some Falmer and Dwemer, which are the snow elves and the underground elves, and I won't mention too much more, but the Falmer are the ones that eventually go pale with like the chitinous black armor, and they look really awesome. But I also have a twist on that I'd like to mention, but it's going to take a bit too much energy, and I completely ran out of medicine. I do not have any left, and it's going to cost like $100 a day, and I don't know when I'm going to get the money or when I'm going to get any medicine next. So unfortunately, not a big Elder Scrolls video today. Today we're just learning about the Unfallen, the cool space Ents. Yeah, I just keep coming back to that. They're space Ents. They're really neat. So I really like that. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you got to learn about a cool species. And hopefully I can make some good videos in the next few days, even though I don't have any medicine. My medicine is making videos for you guys. That's what makes me happy right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So thanks for watching. Leave this a like if you want to know more about any of the other races from Endless Space or from Endless Legend. Probably do the Alai next. They're my favorite, but if you have a favorite, just let me know. Subscribe for daily videos. I make a new video every single day, and leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching.